Welcome back everyone, and in today's video lesson we are going to look at harmonizing by seconds. So a couple of quick notes. One is that harmonizing is going to be done in the key signature. That's a really important point. And the second thing is we want to recognize is that the interval size is going to change. So let's go ahead and take a look at our first example here in the key of C major. And so here I have the C major scale written out, C, D, E, F, G, A, B. And if I were to harmonize by seconds, what that means is I'm just simply taking a second degree with respect to whatever note I'm on, okay? So that means a second degree from C, the C note would be a D note. The second degree from a D note would be an E note, and an F note, and a G note, and so on and so forth. All right, now if I take a look at this, there's a couple things I want to recognize. If I look at this C-D relationship, if I played these two, this right here is the harmonization, right? If I played both of these notes together, if I played essentially C and D together, or D and E together, E and F together, that's the harmonization that we're talking about. So if I'm looking at specifically just this C and D, I want to recognize that that is going to be a major second. Okay, now if I look at the next one, that's also a major second. The one after that is a minor second, major second, major second, major second, and minor second. And so this is a really important point here because we can see we had a minor second here and we had a minor second here, and the rest of these were major seconds. And so that's what we did mention earlier, that the interval size is going to change. Now, why does it do that? And the big reason why it's going to do that is because we have to keep the notes according to the scale of C major. In other words, what that means is we can't just simply slap on a whole step interval for everything. So I can't just go, oh, I can do a whole step here and a whole step here and a whole step here and a whole step here. I can't do that because if I did a whole step here, well, then that would give me an F sharp note, which is not according to the C major scale. So that's not accurate at all. So let's get rid of that. It's definitely not that. So it has to be according to the scale. And that's why our interval sizes are going to change. And this is what makes harmonization a little tricky for most people, because it's understanding that the interval sizes are going to change. They're not always the same thing. Now you go, well, wait a minute. You know, the line that I have to harmonize is not in some simple order. Well, it doesn't matter. All right. So let's say, once again, we'll look at the key of C major. But if I had something like this, you know, F, A, I don't know, B, C, D, E, and you had to harmonize that, well, realistically, the first thing that you would do is you would just determine the key signature here. And I would look at this and go, well, I have a B, not a B flat, therefore it's not in F major. And I have an F and not an F sharp, therefore it's not in the key of G major or D major. And D major would also have a C sharp. So I would look at this and I'd go, well, hey, I've got, pretty much all naturals. So this is going to be in the key of C major. And then I would just, from there, I would think to myself, well, what is the second degree up from an F? Well, it's a G. And then second degree up from an A would give us a B and a C and a D, and an E, and an F. In that respect, what I'm looking at here, I actually put these out of order, or mostly in order, and that was not intentional. But the idea here is that if you had notes that were out of order, you just simply have to determine the key, and then from there, you're able to determine, oh, okay, once I have the key, then what am I harmonizing by? In this case, it's seconds. Let's move on. Let's take a look at another example. And so now we'll have the key of D minor. Okay, so if we had seconds from D minor, we would go, okay, well, the second here from D would be the next scale degree up, and that would give us E, F, G, A, B flat, C, D, and E. Once again, let's consider the interval sizes, right? And so we have this, which is going to be considered our harmonization, right? So it's basically saying, hey, well, if we played the top and the bottom, the yellow with the red at the same time. And so if I had D to E, then that is going to be major second, E to F, minor second, F to G, major second, G to A, major second, minor second, major second, major second, and major second. We can see, again, the interval sizes are changing. We have minor second here and a minor second here. So it didn't matter whether it was in major or minor, and that should be fairly obvious because major and minor are derived from major, right? They both come from a parent major scale, so it shouldn't matter. But it is interesting to think that the interval size is going to change. Once again, as a further example, if you said, well, hey, wait a minute, what if I had the key of D major and it was all, out of order? Something like this. And this seems like it might be a better example. And very simple. So my first step would be identify the key signature. We've done plenty of videos on that. So I would identify this as being the key of D minor, or in that respect, you could also think of it as F major. And where am I coming up with that conclusion? Well, I've got an F, not an F sharp, and I have a B flat, not a B. And so that basically decides that it's going to be F major, not G major, not D major, not C major. Okay, and so from there, I would think about, well, if I'm harmonizing by seconds, I need to go 1 scale degree up, because this would be my 1 and this would be my 2. And then I would go, there, and then a scale degree up from here, up from there, up from there, and up from there. Okay, so very, very simple. I'm just trying to keep it according to the scale. You can see the notes that I used here were all according to the F major and or D minor scale. The notes here, again, F major and or D minor scale. Now, as a quick note, harmonizing by seconds, yeah, it's not really going to sound that great. It's going to sound pretty dissonant. It's not going to be your go-to choice unless you're looking for something specific. So this is not your go-to method. In the next video, we will look at something that is probably a lot more common in terms of harmonization. Hey everyone, thanks for watching. If you enjoy what we do, just go ahead and take a moment to hit that subscribe button for us so that we can go ahead and continue to produce more great content for you.